What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to the parking lot of Lime Ridge Automotive and a somewhat overcast and damp day in Pennsylvania. In today's vlog, we have a few things on the agenda. At first, I'm actually gonna head inside and talk about some up and coming projects that I've been considering. Gotta handle that discussion, and then we're gonna head on up to the shop to just kind of work on some miscellaneous things. Oh, I just literally stepped in this massive puddle right there, and it all just went into my shoe. Oh, I hate when that happens. But yeah, back to what I was saying is, I've got this up and coming project in mind, and it involves a specific truck. So I think I'm about to head inside, talk about that, see if we can find one that kind of meets the profile, and then we're gonna head on up to my shop where we are gonna start working on kind of bringing the skid steer back to life. And then we've got some special guests that might be visiting the shop today, as well as just some other miscellaneous things that I don't really know yet, because sometimes I just like to live my day kind of semi-hour by hour. It keeps things flexible, if you know what I'm saying. So I will catch you guys right after this. All right, guys, that was an awesome conversation, and I actually think we somewhat found what we were looking for, but only time will tell because, well, finding this exact vehicle is kind of challenging right now. Sam's 2020 looking oh so good. You know what, before I leave, I gotta give you guys a quick look at this, and then I gotta ask. Well, first, take a look. 2020, slight paint match differences, and then we've got polished wheels, 22 by 12s, and then black wheels, 22 by 14s, 355s, and then the 33 14.5 Fury. You can really see a 14 wide and a 12 wide do look considerably different, but it's crazy how a 2020 just completely eats up these big wheels. I mean, a 22 by 12 is not small, 22 by 14 not small by any means, but it's crazy how a majority of the wheel is actually up under the truck versus outside the wheel wells. I'll tell you what, these things look amazing next to each other. Guys, if you had to pick, would you go Sam's or would you go mine, and why? Are you more like the white and black combination or the white and polished? To me, they both look absolutely amazing. Well, I say that because I've actually had both. And I'm not gonna tell you which one I favor, but I think from a cleanliness perspective, I kind of like the black wheels just because they're a little bit easier to clean. I mean, come on, do you blame me? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our new home. We are getting so nice and comfortable in here. Jake, what's up, dude? Welcome back to the vlog. It's a good day, guys. Although it is a little bit rainy outside, we're not gonna let that stop us. But anyway, guys, welcome back. So, if y'all aren't aware, Dream Diesel giveaway number 10 is live, and it's that right there, that truck, that F250 Platinum with these 24s and those 38s and that fully powder coated 8-inch lift kit and this just magnificent piece of engineering is up for grabs. This is the last time that 4 entries will be live. They're actually gonna be ending tonight. So if you guys procrastinated at all, this is your last chance to get that 4 times multiplier. Right after this, the 3 times multiplier will go live. So you'll still get nice merit regardless if you don't catch this video the day that it goes live. So in today's vlog, ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of just gonna be doing shop stuff. There's no specific project on the agenda per se, but there's literally always something to do. Speaking of, those wheels right over there are actually going to be sold today. We've got a buyer coming out to pick these things up. I was gonna hold on to them for a little while, potentially put them on a future project truck, but I decided, we'll let them go and we'll see what other kind of wheels we can pick up here in the future. Jake is unloading some stuff out of the truck right now. We've got some Caterpillar parts that actually arrived today, so maybe we'll do some cat stuff in this vlog. Those are some interior components, and then we've actually got another part here. As you can see, our new our new seat came in for the cat, which was definitely necessary. The one that's in that machine right now is absolutely obliterated. Now, I do have to shout out to my boy, my homie, and my Pennsylvania native, Mark DeCola, for hooking us up with these cat parts. If you guys know who Mark DeCola is, he is equipment obsessed, and he's been selling cat filter conversions for diesel trucks now for quite a while. He actually came through and helped us out big time in sourcing and obtaining these parts. So shout out to him. If you guys haven't followed his Instagram, definitely go ahead and check that out. It's at Mark DeCola. I'll also put that information down below. Also check out his business account, MDDP. I'm sure he'll really appreciate that. So we got a nice fresh seat. Dude, how sweet is that thing? It's like so fresh and so clean. No, I don't even want to, dude. It's just for looks. Display purposes only. And then in here, we've got some parts as well that we're gonna dig to here in a minute. But meanwhile, we're actually upgrading our heating in the shop today as well. Shout out to Amazon for this box right here. Dynaglow Deluxe, baby. That sounds so fancy. We got ourselves Diesel Nation on Diesel Nation. Of course, we went with the diesel / kerosene heater. 135,000 BTUs. Slight upgrade and flex on... Where's our old one? Did you throw it out already?
It's hiding back in the shop.
You didn't even want to show anybody. You're like, no.
So embarrassing.
This little torpedo heater, 40,000 BTUs, actually plenty adequate heat generation for the shop, but it was like either off or like full steam ahead, and it got like really uncomfortably hot in the shop, whereas this thing actually has the ability to moderate temperature, and now it's diesel powered rather than propane powered. So repping the diesels, babe. You guys know diesel is life. That right there, easy operation. That's just for you, friend.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
Oh, geez, some assembly required.
You're not touching it.
Nope, I usually do that wrong.
Until you read that. Holy crap.
All right, dude, I'll see you in a few days. Some assembly required, so. All right, so we got Jake working on our apparatus for heating. Let's talk a little bit about the skid steer, guys. In the reveal video of the Ford giveaway truck, I asked y'all at the end if you wanted to see some skid steer content. Hell yeah. But yes, I asked you if you wanted to see some content related to my Caterpillar 259B3, and a lot of you were like, hell yeah, brother, of course we do. It's a turbo diesel. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, brother. All right, cool. Sounds great. So here's kind of a small little update as to where we are right now, and we probably will be doing a little bit of work on this thing today that involves some Caterpillar spray paint, some Caterpillar paint on paint, paint on paint. That makes sense. Brush paint on paint, roll on paint, the opposite of spray paint because it's not pressurized. Yeah, you guys catch my drift. So we bought this machine. It's in pretty good condition, but I kind of wanted to freshen it up for, well, my kind of quality of standard. And the first thing that I decided to do was pull out the factory seat. Now, you can actually see that this door does not have a gas cylinder on it, and it doesn't stay open. So that might be one of those pieces in that box. But the factory seat was, well, basically as good as just a paperweight right now, and there was just rust on everything. So I decided to separate the seat. We got the seat chassis completely removed. It is like a spring actuated seat, kind of a little bit of a spring ride, which is nice. And part of the big reason I wanted to do that is because the bottom seat pan was completely rust. Looked absolutely terrible. Got that painted. Then I decided to remove the glass panels from each side of the cab because they had literally had, I mean, like a complete coating of just contaminant, dirt, dust, debris, water, etc. built up on them for a period of time. So we got all the glass nice and cleaned up. And then I figured, why don't we go a step further and get a majority of the dirt removed? The black gray sound deadening foam was completely tan, and it's actually a gray color from the factory. Then I decided to actually paint the cab. So this side's been painted, the roof has been painted, and this side has been painted. Have not done the rear quite yet, but it cleaned it up immensely. And mind you guys, this is a piece of equipment, so I'm not gonna go like super crazy restoration on the thing, but I do want to kind of clean up some of the flaws and some of the weak areas on it. That way it's just ready to rock and roll for me. So that brings us to what we needed. Currently, every single HVAC vent is broken. It doesn't have a mirror to look in the rear, and it doesn't have the strut on the door. So we decided to order those parts in. And I'll tell you what, guys, this is pretty exciting. I don't know if y'all get as excited about this kind of stuff like me, but when you receive a factory cat bag, there's just something about it. I don't know. Gets me excited. So we've got our gas strut here for the door. We've got our louvers, which is the factory term for the vents. Of course, they have to get all technical with their engineering. We've got the bolt head for the cab mount, because for whatever reason, there's a cab bolt here and a cab bolt here. There was actually only one of them on this unit when I got it. It was causing the cab to actually shake a little bit when you were driving it and operating it, and it was just this terrible squeak. So we're gonna make sure we get everything nice and secured there. And this one should be our mirror. Boom, boys. Now we're gonna have a nice rear view mirror to look in the back as well. When you're operating a piece of equipment like this, you definitely wanna be able to see what's behind you. So we got an update for y'all. Right now, we got the new seat installed. Check out how fresh this thing looks. Oh my God, it looks like a brand new piece of machinery on the inside. We've got the new vents installed, so they're nice. 2 of them were actually good. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 2 on the bottom were completely good. That one was mashed, that one mashed, that one mashed, that one mashed. Cab's not bolted down quite yet because we still need to kind of get a lot of stuff, I don't know, fixed up under there. But we do have the mirror installed as well. Makes a tremendous difference from an operator's perspective. Now what we need to do is we actually got to take the forks off, throw the bucket on, and really get to work. So the main objective of today is we're going to be removing the tracks from either side of this machine. The idea is we don't need to remove the tracks because they're completely fine, but we need to remove the tracks because the rust behind the tracks is not completely fine at all. I want to get in here and regrind all of that rust, and then we can paint over it because it's driving me absolutely nuts. I'm not gonna lie. There's just kind of surface rust and some of the paint is like flaking off. It looks like the machine was actually kind of painted over here before, but they just like rattle canned it. There's kind of areas all up in here, and I just want to take the tracks off because then we'll be able to gain access to everything. It's not that hard on paper. Let's just say it that way. There's a grease fitting in this little access door. We got to pull that out. We've got a few little shortcuts that we're going to try to do to make that retraction process a little bit easier. And then Jake and I are basically gonna manhandle these things. What did they say these things weigh?
250.
So like 200. I don't know what they weigh, but if we can get the cylinder in, we should be able to kind of work it off with a little bit of leverage. And then we're gonna be able to gain access up in the undercarriage area. And that way we can get the grinders in here, grind down all the surface rust, get it painted, get the tracks back on, and then pretty much call it good from the exterior. Everything else, like the boom and kind of the back paneling, is in pretty good condition and doesn't really need much TLC, but it's just that rust right there and this rust here on the other side that's driving me, honestly, absolutely bonkers. All right, boys and girls, we are off the ground. Mind you, small disclaimer to this video, it's not like we're just like full on sending it for the blind here. We did a fair amount of research before trying to tackle this. You know, it's kind of like one of those things, when you have projects and you don't try them on your own, how do you know if you'll ever be able to do them? In this instance, it doesn't seem like rocket science. I'm sure that we'll run into our series of challenges as we navigate. But at the end of the day, we found that best practices are taking big pieces of wood on the back, actually putting them on the undercarriage, and then basically using the boom to lift the whole thing up off the ground. And that's exactly what we did. Everything looks like it's good and ready to rock and roll. So now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to remove these plates. We're gonna take those grease fittings off, and then we're going to actually work these cylinders back to get these tracks off, and then we'll be free and clear to do all of our grinding. So without further ado, let's get to the show. A heavy equipment mechanic, but to me it looks like we got the track off, boys. That wasn't bad. What do you think? Leverage is a must. We actually have a really old axle. Kudos to our friends over at E-Town Auto Works, which was our one point of leverage. I wasn't all that bad. I mean, yes, the tracks are very heavy, but as long as you get this front cylinder in as far as possible and all the poopy grease out, then it makes the process way simpler. And now we have accessibility to kind of clean up what we want to clean up. I mean, we're talking tons of dirt just caked and caked and caked, and I can't see that being good for a machine. All this rust here, some of the rust up here. We're gonna get right to work, guys. We got a lot of work to do. We are gonna pull Dream Diesel Giveaway number 10 Platinum out just so we don't get that super dusty, and we're gonna get to work, guys. Taking a temporary break in the skid steer action to actually say farewell to a set of wheels. I know it's a very sad day, but these guys from Full Send University all came out with their posse today to pick up the 24x14s and the 33 14.5 that were on this truck. Now, I kind of alluded to a little bit earlier in the video that I was gonna be holding onto those, but then I kind of decided to, well, let them go to these guys because this truck is very much influenced or byproduct of this YouTube channel because, well, it's a DURTYMAX and it's got paint matching from Peach Bottom Auto Body. Yo, Sean, what's up, dude? I see you, dude. And, well, now it's gonna have the set of wheels that were on this 2020 DURTYMAX here. So, enjoy them, guys. And if you haven't already, definitely consider going and subscribing to Full Send University. I did put a small little kind of tour segment on their vlog, and well, you're gonna see this black L5P with a set of 2414s very, very soon. It's gonna be great. Their first set of 14 wides. I feel so proud. All right, so that was a really successful day selling the wheels. Now we are back to the grind. No, not grinding hard coffee, but literally grinding. Let's get it, boys.
Pray we make it through the night. Hope we make it through the night. You can see it when you look into my eyes. When you look into my eyes, you can see that I grind all day. Like I'm going my way. Like I'm going my way. When I grind all day. Like I'm going my way. Like I'm going my way.
Don't ever let anybody tell you that taking the tracks off of a skid steer is an easy job. Doable, not complicated, just requires two people without a question of a doubt and a leverage bar. We could honestly use a larger one, but this half axle does completely fine. Tracks are completely off, cylinders are completely pressed in, all the grease poopy is completely out. We've got this side to grind and this side has been ground. Bear in mind, guys, that this is a piece of equipment. We're not shooting for perfection here. We're not shooting for perfection here. We're shooting for better than what we were. A lot of rust that was ground off. A lot of paint chips that I guess I missed, but got most of. Gonna get these little areas here while Jake gets grinding on the other side. And then we are gonna lay down our first coat of paint. And unfortunately in this video, we probably won't be able to finish the paint because it needs to cure and then we need to do multiple coats. But we got spray paint for the tough to reach places and then brush on paint for the larger, wider areas. I think we should be able to get this thing pretty squared up. And then getting the tracks back on, well, I guess we're gonna have to visit that when we get to that mountain. Well, boys, I got some bad news. This Rust-Oleum version of Farm Equipment Caterpillar Yellow is by no means Caterpillar Yellow. I did this as kind of a sample for my own eyes, and I'll allow yours to soak it all in as well. You can see there's quite the difference there. It's definitely not the same. That's where we're gonna pump the brakes on painting because we gotta get the right color yellow. That is definitely not going to suffice. It did seem a little like off on the cam, but I'm like, oh, you know how that goes sometimes. Sometimes it's like not an accurate depiction, but it's not that far off, and it's definitely not right. So that's where that's gonna go for now. Unfortunately, that renders our machine completely useless, but she's gonna look good once it's all done. I'll tell you what, we gotta grind this entire side down, and then yeah, we're gonna get it ready to rock and roll and get some paint on this thing, make it look real nice and pretty. All right, boys and girls, we have officially made an absolute mess of the shop, without a question of a doubt. First time, first mess, social distance. You didn't abide by it, dude. Yeah, so I think I might have slightly underestimated the severity of this project, but that's okay. We're completely good. We've got everything ground down on either side. We've got pretty much everything prepared on the front. And of course, our paint is on hold. It's actually a good thing though, because upon further investigation, I believe, and don't attack me for this, but Caterpillar made a slight change to their color. So that could be current cat color. We might need old cat color. I need to do some research. Mark DeCola, SOS. Everyone would help Mark DeCola, paging Mark DeCola. But yeah, anyway, guys, that's pretty much where we have to pause for today. But this was a really good exercise because we got a lot of crap. I mean, like a lot of crap off of this thing. There was a considerable amount of rust up underneath that we chipped all off, and ultimately just have to kind of get it painted at this point in time. We also discovered a slew of grease fittings, actually one on this side and then one on the other side, that haven't been visited pretty much ever, that were completely seized, so we have those off. In terms of the gas shock that I was going to install, come to find out I need a ball end bolt that goes on the door side, which isn't there. And then I got to pick up another cab bolt, because it seems like I might have missed that in this purchasing journey as well. But she's coming along, boys. Might not look like much right now, but definitely good progress was made in these parts today. And it was actually very good because we actually didn't have etching primer as well, which I believe we're gonna tack on before we actually do the final coat. But hey, guys, I hope you really like this kind of content. It was something a little bit different, but upon the reveal video of Dream Diesel giveaway number 10, y'all said you wanted to see it. And hey, let me know if you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. We will continue on, but of course it goes back to the screen now where we have to buy all of our parts. That being said, my likely goal, if you guys do your best, grab some entries for Dream Diesel giveaway number 10, and I will see you all in the next upload.